Arsenal beat Leverkusen 4-1. And let me say, I got a lot more out of that friendly than I expected to. I really went into this thinking, yeah, we'll see obviously some first teamers, probably the likes of the USA lot, the ones who went on tour, and a couple of youngsters, and it'll probably be quite competitive still. But my word, I got so much more out of that, mainly because of the return of David Raya, William Saliba, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, confirming to us they'll be ready to go for the start of the new season against Wolves next weekend. But also the tempo, the football, the performances from certain individuals, but as a team as well. On and off the ball, Arsenal were brilliant, and yeah, it woke me up a little bit. I thought, okay, fair enough. We're looking all right, and we're looking in good shape when it comes to the squad. Of course, more additions to come, but we're not going to talk about them in this video. We're going to talk about the match report and how Arsenal beat Bayer Leverkusen and how it all worked out. I am here in the DR Sports studio. Look at those trophies. Some of the ones that we want to be lifting, as we know. Hopefully this season we will. Let me walk around so my arm doesn't get a bit too tired. So, the 11 surprised me a lot. I mean, David Raya starting didn't. On the AFTV preview, we did predict that David Raya could well be involved. Ramsdale was on the bench. But the return of William Saliba absolutely did surprise me. William Saliba returning to an 11. And I thought maybe the squad he'd make. Of course, he did end his tournament 3-4 days earlier than the England and Spanish players. But, yeah, he started, which was really encouraging. And then Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice got a whole 45 minutes in the second half as well. Very, very encouraging in terms of their fitness and availability for the start of the season. So he started centre-back along with Gabriel. Zinchenko, left-back, got the opening goal. Thought he was brilliant. Havertz started in midfield. Again, not something I want to see often, but he did really well, to be fair to him, alongside Jorginho and Odegaard. A front three of Vieira on the right, Jesus up front, and Trossard on the left. Now, the game actually started with Arsenal's high pressing, with a couple sort of 5 minutes of teams kind of feeling their way into the game, sort of getting quite settled. A couple kind of moments when the ball high up the pitch. But then Zinny started running the game. Zinchenko thought a really good first half. Started to get on the ball, moving quite central, sometimes in between the centre-backs, sometimes the deepest of the midfielders, sometimes just inverting in a two alongside Jorginho in the way we saw a lot 2 years ago. He was picking up the ball, playing some really lovely passes through the lines, finding some players. But Havertz makes a really good run off the ball, the stuff he's often praised for doing really, really well. And let me just move myself over here a little bit. There we go. Havertz makes a run off the ball into a channel that I think is created by Trossard moving inside a little bit, and Zinny picks that pass. And Kai Havertz had actually threatened to do that a little bit earlier in the game when I think from a throw-in, he made a good underlapping run. The cross was dealt with by Leverkusen. This time it's the ball from Zinchenko. Now, when he makes that run, Havertz, and he's running, attacking the channel, Trossard makes a really good run where Havertz basically goes for a cutback. Trossard could get into it, maybe get a striker goal, but I think it would require a touch, a set. And he actually, I think, recognises either via a shout or just good awareness that Zinchenko's there to hit it first time. When it's rolled across, Trossard with the dummy or the leave, if you like, and there's Zinchenko's left foot to lash it into the far corner. Really good goal that he started and created, and you can see the confidence in him from that point. He was actually defending quite well as well, but everything he did on the ball, very, very confident, looking like the Zinchenko we saw 2 years ago and haven't really seen for a while in this team. Well done, Zinny. I certainly have him up there for man of the match. That came around the 7th, 8th minute. In the 9th minute, or by 10 minutes anyway, Arsenal had their second goal because of a high press, worked into a good position as the ball goes out to Jesus, and you're thinking, don't do a Jesus, set it and hit it, but he does really well to set himself, get into Havertz's feet. Havertz sort of feints, but not really, feints the shot, man. No, you get what I'm trying to say. Fakes the shot, a little kind of feint effort where he then just drags it back into Trossard. Trossard then looks like he's going to hit it with his left foot, drags it onto his right foot, and then strokes an empty net because with that faked shot, he sent the defender and goalkeeper both flying the other way. So 2-0 up Arsenal and looking very, very comfortable at that point. Now, Trossard was playing some brilliant football. I gave him a lot of praise for his cameo against Liverpool coming on in that second half. I thought he was terrific for the 80 minutes he played in this game. Faded in the second half for sure. And the game became a little bit more of like game management in that second half. And it was a case of be serious. This is a Premier League game. You're not going all out to score with every attack when 3-0 up in the 60th minute. But Arsenal definitely were looking fairly comfortable throughout, and Trossard in that first half was purring. I thought some of his close control and quality out on the touchline was really, really good in that first half. Driving at players, showed real bursts of pace, and of course got that second goal as well. So Leandro Trossard's certainly one of the standouts, and on AFTV we were sort of debating who the man of the match was. Turkish had Trossard, and I think for his all-round performance, what he did in all areas of the game, in all aspects of the game, got his goal as well. I think you certainly got to have him up there, and I can see why a lot of people would go for Trossard. But for me, it was Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz, with the 2 assists, and look, they're not easy assists, right? The awareness and the execution for both those to make it as easy as possible for Zinchenko and Trossard with their goals, I think was really good. But then, of course, he gets the goal in the second half. So talk about the second half in a sec, but those are the 3 players I have up there for man of the match. Havertz, Trossard and Zinchenko, all great. Now, the second half, actually, no, we can't talk about the second half yet because Jesus scored. And Jesus basically gets on the end of a loose throw-in, drives up the pitch. And he's not like at full pace. This is one of those where he's carrying the ball, kind of waiting for options, waiting for the game to open up in some way. They never really did. Looks like Leverkusen were more kind of worried about tracking runners. He just darts inside and gets a good striker goal. I think Kovar should do better, but it trickles into the back of the net. And Arsenal are 3-0 up at half-time against a strong Leverkusen side. That's something I didn't mention at the beginning of this match report. Leverkusen came with a strong 11. You know, their back four of Kosunu, Tar, Hincapi at left-back. Who's the other left-back? Tapsoba. Left centre-back, sorry. Obviously, Frimpong starting. So their best back 3 and their wing-backs, their goalkeeper was there. Granit Xhaka in midfield, new signing Garcia, Adli, Wirtz, Terre. It was a good 3. And then they brought on the likes of Andrick and others. So this was no weakened Leverkusen side. I mean, yes, they might not have been fully full strength, but we weren't fully full strength, although not far from it. So yeah, I think we can take a lot of positives from that first half, 3-0 up. 1-1 for a second half, but of course that means a 4-1 win. And the changes were interesting because Lewis Skelly came on at left back to play the Zinchenko role. I thought he was brilliant. In terms of the other subs as well, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Rice came on. Yeah, Rice came on and Havertz moved up front. So Jesus came off and Vieira came off and Saka came on. There was another change, I can't quite remember. Oh no, maybe they were the only 3. I can't quite remember. But anyway, oh yeah, Saliba came off and Kivior came on. Now, Lewis Skelly, I thought, looked incredibly comfortable. Like, you can tell this is a midfielder playing left back. He looks very comfortable getting on the ball. His strength, the use of his body, and his ability to, his awareness, his ability to kind of get his body in the way, set himself and play is really, really good. He's not looking to just lash the ball up the pitch. He's not looking to just, sprint into everything he does or rush anything he does. He's very composed. If there's the opportunity to play, he will take it. I think Arteta made a bit of a statement. I know some people might go, listen, James, it's not that big a deal. Obviously, Timber, Calafiori, all unavailable for this game because of tiredness for Calafiori and a little bit of sort of muscle overload for Timber meant he kind of wasn't available. A lot of these players missing Tomiyasu probably meant that Lewis Skelly was always going to get some significant minutes in this game. But to bring Zinchenko off for half-time and get Lewis Skelly playing with a lot of these first-teamers, I thought it was great to see. He was playing with Gabriel, he was playing with Jorginho, with Rice, with Trossard out in the wing. And I think he looked absolutely up to scratch. He looked up to the pace of it, which was great to see. Nwaneri came on later in the game. Was he quite up to the same pace? I'm not sure. He definitely showed some quality. But there's no doubt in this guy's talent. I think Lewis Skelly was for sure the most impressive of the subs who came on. Bukayo Saka looked really bright as well. And actually, you see Arsenal go through the motions when Partey gets the ball. By the way, much better performance from Partey in this game compared to what we saw in the US. But he gets the ball, finds Nwaneri in the pocket. So really good understanding there. Nwaneri then gets it wide to Saka. Saka does really well to basically force the defender to, not really clear it as it falls to Havertz, who puts it into the back of an empty net for 4-0. On 4-1, I think it's just poor positioning from Lewis Skelly and Heaven. A runner off the ball, I think it was Teller, squares it for, I can't remember who it was at this point. And Leverkusen get one back. Probably a bit disappointing that we couldn't have held on to the clean sheet, but look, a lot of change has been made by that point, and Arsenal were comfortably going to be the winners. And it ends with a 4-1 win. Martinelli got some football. Who else came on? I'm trying to think. I mentioned Partey, I mentioned Rice. Rice didn't look the Rice of old, but that's fine. He's going to take his time. I thought Saka did look very sharp. Josh Nichols came on as well. And that's it, really. That's pretty much all the changes. So the 11 that ended was Raya in goal with Nichols, Kivior, Heaven, Lewis Skelly. A midfield of Partey, Nwaneri and Rice. And a front three of Martinelli, Nketiah came on, and Saka on the right. So a very strong team ended the game as well. So it'll be interesting to see if the likes of Rice, Saka, all them are ready to start the season, or ready to start. So ready to start the season next week, but ready to start for Lyon on the weekend. So we will see. But look, overall, a good performance from Arsenal, a very good performance. I think in the US, the intensity levels were there. The sharpness on the ball in terms of trying to play with some pace, trying to look quite on it, basically. I think that was all there. I think if there was one criticism about what we did in the States was tactically, it didn't really feel like it was all working too much. But I actually think in this game it worked a lot better tactically, from the press to the running off the ball from Havertz, found by the inverted fullback of Zinchenko. A lot of the combinations worked really well. Now, I released a video a couple of days ago talking about whether the sort of wide forwards that are normally out on the touchline play more central is going to be more a figure of Arsenal's play. And again, I think while Trossard, Vieira were largely touchline wingers, we did see a little bit of Saka and Trossard in those more central spaces getting involved in build-up, with the fullbacks getting a little bit wider. So go check out that video if you've missed it and want to sort of get an idea for what I was analysing there from pre-season. Everyone, hope you've enjoyed this match report. Arsenal beat Leverkusen 4-1. Two strong teams that went out there. I got a lot more out of it simply because of how strong both sides went. But really, it was Arsenal's sharpness, intensity, and execution of tactical plans that I think made me really encouraged that with 10 days to go, Arsenal are looking in good shape. Let's get Calafiori in there. Let's get Timber fit. Let's get that Marino deal done and get that midfielder in. And if we can do something with that forward before the end of the season, I'm feeling really, really encouraged. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. See you all soon.